ask, I'll never know. Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. Wait, I'm tired of the pain. Go away.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Good afternoon, buddy. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. You nearly caught me out there because our intros are a lot shorter these days.
Yeah, I
Just
was hoping I was going to catch you.
Yeah, I thought, I could hear it and I thought, oh, that bugger's going to get me here, so.
You looked pretty busy and doing whatever you was doing over there. I was like, man, I'm going to get this son of a bitch. I'm going to get him.
Nice try. I was actually entertaining myself because, as you know, that just as the show's about to start, we have a few chat groups and you tend to post out letting people know that it's all there. And when you have a mobile phone sitting at the side, it comes up with a little notification. And it came up with a notification for the show from Mr. Pickle.
So today, right before the show, right before we did this show, my wife made a post earlier today, said if she get 30 comments in this post, that she'll come in here and slap me in the forehead with a pickle. All right. So she got over 30 comments in the fucking post. People, you got to stop liking posts. And I'm sitting there and I'm getting things set up for today's show, and boom, I get slapped in the face with a fucking pickle.
Could have been worse. Could have been.
It was funny. And so I wasn't expecting it. It was like a shock because I got pickle juice in my eye. I had the whole fucking thing. It was awful. It was awful. You seen it. As a matter of fact, before tonight's show's over with, I saved the video, so I'll let everybody see the whole practical joke. Right before my anniversary, my wife decides to play on me and slap me in the face with a fucking dill pickle.
And the funniest part was that I think the whole video is about nearly coming up towards 2 minutes long. And the first part, when she's getting ready, you could see her sort of like chuckling to herself with anticipation of getting to slap you. That's.
I tell you, it does remind you of watching one of those American Funniest video clips where they're doing all the prepping of the practical joke, and she's literally just fucking giggling, trying her best to have a straight face. She comes in with a straight face, the next thing I know, whack.
All I can say is she's a brave lady, because knowing you, I can imagine there'll be some fun revenge going on.
Oh, there's going to be revenge. You can bet that. So we got a surprise show tonight. Normally we don't come on and do an Into the Fire on Wednesday. Normally we get on the radio station, we do the Delinquents Ball, play some music there. But tonight I just thought, we got such an amazing band on tonight. I thought, why not put these guys here on Facebook Live, here on YouTube, everybody's tuning in and watching. Listen, I'll tell you what. Ever since I got introduced to this band from John from Forge, I just immediately fell in love with their music, their sound, their vibe, the lyrics. It makes you feel good, and I think that's why I like listening to them so much.
Yeah, the quality band. I've played them a few times on my shows over the last couple of weeks, and yeah, I mean, solid, really, really good music.
So I'm really, really excited to have these guys on the show tonight. So let's introduce them, shall we? Everybody,
Yeah.
let's welcome the band Flatland Kings.
Yo.
Hey.
Good evening, fellas.
Hello there.
Thanks for
I just need to check you. Liam, are you all right? You seem to be slipping off your screen.
Probably because I'm in the chair with my feet up like this. And,
Hey, that's relaxed, isn't it? Yeah.
I had to do that too. It's casual enough, right? How are you fellas doing? You guys doing good?
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for being on the show. I know we had this show actually planned up for September 11th, but things kind of switched around today. In the last minute, we decided to do this here live on Facebook. So I really appreciate it because I'm a fan of you guys. I love what you guys do. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Nice.
So let's introduce everybody. So we'll start with Liam. Tell everybody what you do in the band.
So I'm the lead singer in Flatland Kings. I play a bit of guitar as well. And yeah, that's basically it. I just go out there and do my thing.
He's put the keyboard there to catch you out, Sid.
That's what, sorry?
Put the keyboard there to catch him out.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it, really.
I sold him that like a year ago, and I don't think he's ever been used.
I've used it like twice.
Sounds like me. I buy instruments. But I'll play maybe 3 or 4 times, and I set them to the corner, and they start collecting dust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
I mean, I bought a fucking Irish whistle. An Irish whistle.
Yeah.
I mean, just to buy an instrument to play, and it's right here. I mean, I learned how to play it a little bit, but I played it like maybe 5 or 6 times, and I set it down. Haven't played it since.
Yeah,
Didn't we need a tin whistle in the band?
I got a gajoon sitting over to my right. I maybe played that 6 times. Now it holds my fan,
Yeah. Yeah, I might put my printer in the middle.
so I can appreciate a good backdrop.
Sweet.
So I want to Whip. I'm going to enjoy saying this name all night long. Whip. Tell everybody what you do in the band, buddy.
I'm Sam. I play keys, guitar. Do a lot of programming. Do a lot of producing with Steph, and then hi Christine. And I do a lot of mixing for the band. So I do all the back end.
You're like the Wizard of Oz of Flatland Kings.
Yeah.
Well, between me and Steph, we do the we do the grunt work.
So you said Sam there. You didn't say Whip.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, Whips became a bit of a name Steph and Liam gave me, and it's my branding now as a mix engineer and as a producer. So
it could be Sam Whip.
could be.
That'd be good in your accent, Sid. Give me some Sam Whip.
Some Sam Whip.
Sam Whip. So
I just cracked that. I sort of, when I first came into the band, I was sort of like, yeah, that's shit. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's shit. And then I sort of came down, had a few bits, and then I got linked my own bits. So,
I'm just going to have fun saying it all night long. I might even start getting a little dramatic and start doing like the little.
Well, actually, I should tell you though, that Liam is named as Pony in the band. He's our Pony.
What's Steph? What? Tell everybody what you do in the band.
Oh, do you mean Jeff?
Jeff.
This is our own porn star, Jeff Good.
We've all got our own little nicknames.
Pet names. We got a horse. We got a horse and a whip, and we got Jeff that rides it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because Liam's got Indiana Jones's hat.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going.
And he's got a horse.
Yeah, you might start to see a little bit of the story behind the artwork for our debut EP. Then, if you look at it, you might see a little bit of an in joke there, because Sam cracks the whip and works me and Liam's asses off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, I get called Jeff because Steph Judd, with the letters swapped round, is Jeff Stud. So I get called Jeff. And Liam's Pony because he's show pony. You know, he gives it all out at the front and stuff.
Not jazz hands, not jazz.
Not jazz hands, but he's just big.
But
my name's Steph, and I like play guitar on that, and that's pretty much it. But
no. He does a hell of a lot more. Steph's an amazing producer. He does most of the tracking of all the guitars and stuff and things like that, and he comes up with all the cool, interesting licks, and he really is the backbone to it all. He drives the sound home.
Definitely.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, I was guessing at the guitars. I mean, there was something giving it away in the background there. But just in case, because I can see a drum kit there as well. So,
well, Steph played all the drums on our first EP.
Yeah,
he's the silent workhorse, then, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
Then he throws it over and goes, "Fix that." And then we're good.
And he's modest. He's modest too. He seems like a humble fella.
Well, it wouldn't be Flatland Kings without any one three of us. You know, it's a team effort, and each of us brings something to the table that makes it what it is. So I think without any one of us, it wouldn't have the same sound. It wouldn't have the same vibe. So, you know, the band sound came from the three of us. So yeah. We all do our bit.
I like how you said that, man. I really do, because that really, what you just said there, really transcends into you guys' music. Because you guys, even in the videos that I've seen, you guys look like you genuinely just enjoy being around each other and enjoy playing music.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
At some point soon, we'll take rehearsals more seriously and actually do some bloody work.
So are you actually in the rehearsal room? Do you actually use that room for rehearsals as well, or do you actually cart all that stuff out to a different venue?
Yeah, the guys come over here. We use this for rehearsal. We use some other places as well when we want to use like acoustic drum kit and full band and do it sort of full volume. But we use this studio just for like smaller rehearsals and stuff, because this is just in my back garden. This is called the Stable, by the way. As you might have probably guessed, we call this the Stable, this studio. But yeah, we rehearse in here and stuff, and it's great because with the electric kit and that, we can keep the volume fairly low, and we can go on into the night. And the neighbours, you know, there's been times where we've been writing songs in here and recording and stuff, and we've been in here 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and the neighbours haven't got a clue, which is great. So
no, it's excellent. Isn't it? I mean, what when you've got that. Got that atmosphere, you've got everything working properly, you don't want to quit, do you? You want to iron it out while you've got the opportunity. So
absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Evening, Jace.
So how did you guys come up with the name Flatland Kings, and how long have you guys actually been a group?
The name was a tricky one, wasn't it? Because we wanted something indigenous, something that was kind of like our local area, and we live obviously on the east of England. There's a bay called the Wash, which is like a square sort of cutout shape in the east side of England, and it's really, 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 really flat. They basically, if you let your dog off its lead, it can run for a good 3 miles and you still see it. So it's flat, you know. So we wanted something to remind us of the area that we live in, and then there's lots of references to kings around here. My closest town is Kings Lynn, and it's rumoured that however many hundreds of years ago that King John lost his treasure in the Wash. And the Wash sits between Liam, Sam and me. That's the bit of stretch of water between us. And that's where King John lost his treasure, apparently, right next to a village where I grew up. So we wanted something that just puts our area on the map, really. That's what it was all about. Something that meant something to us.
I kind of, you know, that was the first time I actually got an answer to a question that actually had a meaning behind the name.
It's important, I think, because it makes us believe in the name more if it means something to us.
You can't believe in everybody. You're going to have treasure hunters galore around the area soon, aren't you? Now looking for King John's treasure. So
we'll be digging up the road.
Well, we get a lot of bands on here that when you ask them a question, how to come up with a name, you're expecting like a big story, like an epic story of how they came up with the name, and you kind of get left. Okay, they just like we just came up with it. Like one was in a coffee house last week, wasn't it? And they spent like days in a coffee house till they finally came up with Cell. So I always enjoyed kind of figuring out or listening to the stories behind the names of groups and how you guys came out with it. And I kind of had an idea. That's where you got the Flatland was from your area in your countryside there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that's what initially we wanted to do, you know, was have something that means something to us, because we're likely to believe in it more and push it out in people's faces more if it's something that, yeah, we believe in and that we stand for. And that's the same with our lyrics as well.
Yeah, everything. Like Liam's the powerhouse behind it, and everything that it comes through sort of translates when Liam presents us with lyrics. It just carries. It just means something to at least one of us in some way. So.
I tell you, listening to the songs, and I'm going to play here in a few seconds. We're going to play your guys' video Skeletons. And listening to the songs, they always make me feel good, and I think that's really cool that it does. Every song that I've heard, and I think I've listened to 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 4, and all 4 that I just thoroughly just enjoy. They make you just feel good.
Thanks.
That's good to hear.
Well, I mean, Liam's got an amazing voice, and then you know, the band sounds so tight. It just sounds, the harmonies are good. It's like you guys are telling a story every time you hear a new song, and there's a new story to be told.
Yeah, well, it's the whole thing about country, like you hear about this, truck, girls, church, and things like that. So I think what Liam really brings across is the country element, is that they are real stories, which is what country music is, but it is in a completely different way to how other people are relating to the country scene.
And that's something we're going to touch base on here too, here in a few minutes as well. You guys is the sound. But what I'm going to do first is let's play everybody a video so everybody kind of gets introduced to what you guys sound like. This is their video. This is Flatland Kings, everybody, with their video Skeletons. You guys are going to really, really enjoy this. We'll be right back, folks.
Got a closet that's full to the brim, with the ghost of the past and my skeletons in. We all have things that we choose to hide and keep them locked away in the depths of our mind. So do I trust myself again and risk losing everything? So won't you leave a light on so I can find my way back home? This one's for the mothers, and this one's for the fathers, the sisters and brothers, the sons and the daughters, the unconditional lovers who were there for each other. No matter what you've done, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. I had a beer with the devil himself. Said you better shape up or you're heading straight for hell. We're all made of blood, flesh and bones. Though these times get rough, no one has to stand alone. So do I trust myself again? Risk losing everything. Won't you leave a light on so I can find my way back home? Oh, this one's for the mothers, and this one's for the fathers, sisters and brothers, the sons and the daughters, the unconditional love Won't you wait for me, wait for me? I'm homeward bound. Won't you wait for me, wait for me? I'm homeward bound. Won't you wait for me, wait for me? I'm homeward bound. Won't you wait for me, wait for me? I'm homeward bound. Won't you wait for me, wait for me, wait for me, wait for me, wait for me? This one's for the mothers, this one's for the fathers, sisters and brothers, sons and the daughters, unconditional lovers who are there for each other, no matter what you've done. You're not the only one. This one's for the mothers, this one's for the fathers, sisters and brothers, sons and the daughters, unconditional lovers who are there for each other, no matter what you've done. You're not the only one. I've got a closet that's full to the brim with the ghost of the past and my skeletons in.
Absolutely just an amazing fucking song. Amazing video as well. I got goosebumps on my arm right now. I love the feel of the video because it makes you feel good. I want to say this 1,000 times tonight, but it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like, you know, your heart is filling up with love because you see videos of you guys spending time with family, friends, people are taking part of this video. That actually, it's just a great video, guys. Really.
Thank you.
Thank
Steph-
you. Yeah, we
Steph
just
put the video together, and he did an amazing job. So
thank you, but you know, we just ask all of our friends and family to send us short clips because it was lockdown. Of course, this video was made in lockdown last year. We couldn't get together to film anything, so we just, I don't know, we'll just use our friends and family and just send us pictures of whatever you're doing in lockdown. Excuse me, you know, whether it's bike riding, whether it's on the beach, whatever, and it just encapsulates, I think, the vibe of when the EP came out, right slap bang in the middle of lockdown for us, you know, and it kind of encapsulates that vibe, which was great. But that song never gets old for me. It means a lot.
Man,
It's one of my faves, to be honest. It is one of my faves.
I can
Yeah.
see why.
Yeah, it works really well, and the video sits really well with it. You wouldn't think that you'd sort of, if you'd have planned it out and come up with that, it would have been amazing. So the fact that lockdowns allowed you to produce it almost by accident by having things sent in at randoms, brilliant, you know. So
I love the song. I can't say it enough. I absolutely fucking love the song. Everything about it's catchy. Every song that they come out, they make you. It just makes you feel good, and it's a breath of fresh air because when you know doing the shows that we do, Bob, and I love my rock music, I love my metal music, but I love this kind of music as well because it's a different vibe, a different message, a different way of listening. Music's universal. In the end of the day, it's universal, and whatever strikes that heart, I mean, you just go and run with it. And this band here, I tell you, I love what you guys do. I'm a big fan, I guess.
I'd watch it, guys. When he gets on like this, he turns into a right stalker. And I've already told you about the dual and banjos, haven't I? So
Liam loves it.
So let me ask you guys, why? If I'm not mistaken, country music come here from the States, from the United States. I didn't realize it was such. And this is just me, and I'm going to admit me being ignorant. I didn't think that country music was such a thing there over in the UK. Is it a good scene there?
It's becoming a bigger scene, definitely.
I mean, that's good to hear.
Steph's the best one to answer that because he is the country driving force of it. So
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess the more of I looked into it, the more it was a bigger scene. I suppose I always wanted to do something in that kind of line. I've always been into sort of country rock artists. So I kind of got into it as a little bit by accident originally. You know, I was listening to, you know, my favorite two albums as a kid, and when I was learning to play guitar was Hysteria by Def Leppard and Wake Up the Neighbours by Bryan Adams, which I found out was both produced by Mutt Lange. And then I was like, oh, what else has this producer guy done? Oh, Shania Twain. Who's she? I don't know. Let's go check her out. And then kind of got into it off the back of that, really. And I've listened to it ever since, really, and got into these country artists like Keith Urban, really big fan of, and these other guys. But yeah, in this country, it wasn't until I sort of met Liam and then Sam, and we started to put this together and thought, oh, there's probably not many of us doing this in the UK. And you start to look around, and all of a sudden, it's like, actually, there's quite a bit happening. There's a massive festival at the O2 every year called Country to Country, which obviously a lot of the American artists come over and are supported by the English artists. There's Nashville Meets London, which we're going to be doing a live stream for soon as well, which is great. And there's a ton of festivals popping up all over the UK now. It's becoming quite a big scene. It's still a little bit, underground. If Radio 2, it's not in the mainstream as such, but there's a massive following in the UK now.
I'll be honest. I was shocked that you guys it was country music, country rock music coming from the UK. I didn't think that it traveled all the way across there, because it started here, and it's good to see that the music is transcending all the way to other countries and seeing bands like you. Because if you guys are here in the United States, you guys would be all over the radio play here.
That's cool. Yeah, it's nice to know. I mean, we sit. I don't know where we sit. I mean, we try not to pigeonhole ourselves too much, but I know there's a lot of stuff in the UK at the minute that is more on the traditional edge of country, and there's stuff that's really on the pop side, and there's a lot of real southern rock and slightly heavier than what we do. And we're kind of in the middle. Our stuff, I suppose, is a bit of a rockier kind of edge, but yeah, it's still quite sort of got a bit of a pop vein through it, I suppose, with regard to the production and stuff. So I don't know whether there's many other artists in the UK, not that we've found really, that are that similar to where we sit. So I think it's quite hard to put us with.
I would agree. Yeah, it's quite interesting that you mentioned in genres like pop and obviously southern rock and metal. I think that's one of the advantages of country. It might not appear to have a big following and a big scene, but I think pretty much every genre of music appreciates it or has a like of artists who are in there, even though they don't maybe fill a massive void in the music industry, So, I mean, I grew up with parents who would listen to people like Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton and people like that, So it was always around and getting into people's psyche. But there was never. I don't recall growing up and sort of saying, "Oh, right, there's a country festival on at the time," but you still enjoyed the music that was coming out by the artists who you've mentioned, and people like Shania Twain have done really well over here, haven't they?
Oh,
yeah. And I think another artist that I think did well over here, and I think she's more country these days, but would be Sheryl Crow. Back in the 90s, she had a decent amount of singles, that were in the charts over here, and she was another one that kind of got me into that side of the more Americana sort of stuff, and really loved all of her stuff forever, and her as a person as well. So yeah, I think there's been quite a few artists that have kind of done well over here through the years, but it's nice that it's becoming bigger now. I think the UK, I don't know, through shows like Nashville as well, TV shows and stuff, I think it's become a real vibe here that London wants to be another Nashville, I reckon.
Oh, that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, which is what Country to Country and Nashville Meets London, I think, are trying to do. And there's lots of other great festivals like Buckle and Boots and stuff. There's some amazing festivals in the UK doing all that sort of stuff, and it's great to see. But I went to my first sort of country gig in the UK 3 years ago. I went to see Carrie Underwood when she was over here, because I love Carrie Underwood, and I couldn't believe the difference in age groups, from like 5-year-old kids to 75-year-old, 8-year-old, sort of grannies and granddads. The complete mix of ages. I was like, wow, this is just, it's unreal. The different kind of age ranges it covers in the UK.
Country music has got that vibe to it. It's just, for me, it's country music. For me, was always fun to listen to. I told you guys before the show, I love listening to bluegrass and listen to old school country at times. Conway Twitty, Dolly Parton, George Jones. I mean, I can go on. Travis Tritt. I mean, there were just so many great country music artists, and fortunately they was able to break out of the United States scene and go globally. And I think that having those people like that went global kind of helped the scene over there in the UK too get kind of kickstarted and going.
You know, I see it on a more real simple format, that country music at its core, all the writers, when I spent time in Nashville and everything like that, they were just songwriters. They are just songwriters. And that's why it translates so well across all genres and all people and all ages, because you can put a country twist on it, you can put a rock twist on it, a pop twist on it. Like, look at what Taylor Swift's done and things like that. You can take it in any direction and it just translates because the story and the core songwriting.
That's a good example, Whip, as you said there, when they're bands like the lead singer of Stained, Aaron Lewis, he went from metal to country, and he's actually doing better at country than he was with the hard rock band with Stained. I mean, Stained went big for a while, but he's had more hits singing country music than he has with Stained.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's I think that's actually the bit that I enjoy the most about this band is the, like I said, Steph brings the country vibe out in us, but it's the core songwriting. We really enjoy the process, and there's so many people we can look up to because it did translate so well over here, and we're just trying to do our own thing with it. Like, we've got our really big favorite bands that we're really into at the minute, and they're leading the way, and hopefully we're going to be leading the way in a few years' time.
Well, I think you guys are onto something for sure. And one of the second videos that I watched of you guys was one of the ones you guys did from Lockdown. It's in all its glory live in Lockdown.
Oh yeah.
And that was for me was kind of like these guys are really going to be something. They're going to take off, because this video is kind of like you guys are all in separate places, right? Doing this, the video of this. Explain this video a little bit to everybody before I play it.
This was a tricky one because, like, our drummer Tom, he didn't even have anywhere to rehearse or play his kit. You know, in his house, he doesn't even have anywhere to set his kit up unless he's at a rehearsal or at a studio. So he's in his living room and he recorded his drums on his phone. So the drum sound that you're hearing is his wife literally pointing his phone at him. So we had to deal with the sonic quality of phone audio, drums, and the same with Liam's vocal.
Yeah, I was sung through a headphone mic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, headphone mic. Yeah. It was through a headphone mic. So yeah, it's just it wasn't so much about sonic quality with this. It was just about us feeling normal for a bit again and actually playing a song together. So it was tricky to kind of mix. Sam and I spent a long time backwards and forwards sending the song to each other, kind of, we need to make it sound better. But in the end, it was like, well, you know what, it is what it is.
I was sold on it just because it sounded raw, it sounded authentic, it sounded like this is us stripped down, this take it or leave it, this is how it is. And I took it and I was like, this is really fucking good, guys. So it's a great video, a great song. I think you guys did an excellent job for having headphones on or someone pointing a cell phone up to the drums. I think it turned out brilliant.
Thank you. No, we enjoyed it. It was good fun.
So let's play that, everybody. This is their song. This is Flatland Kings with their song In All Its Glory. It's the live and lockdown version, folks. We'll be right back.
Putting miles on my heart. We're trying to find a way back to the start. And I've been drinking more than I should. We both know that never turns out good. Sometimes they get high when they are low. But take it from me, that ain't no way to go. Maybe I was wrong, maybe I was right. I saw the truth in another light. Lesson learned when I lost the fight. Let's make me stronger. So bring me like a book to the inside out. You're the one who knows me. So tell me you've been good. If I could ever change this love story. 'Cause life it don't play out like story. In all its glory. It's a world of drive-by love affairs. There's a million hearts in repair. It takes a man to realize what is real. I find it hard to see just how I feel. 'Cause I just wanna tell you that all these words I have, you're good enough. 'Cause maybe I was wrong, maybe I was right. I saw the truth in another light. A lesson learned when I lost the fight. This made me stronger. So feel like a drug, turn me inside out. No one knows me. To tell me you've been good, if I could ever change that story. 'Cause life it don't play out like a movie. So you forget, with no regrets, be at the best. In all its story. In all its glory. Maybe I was wrong, maybe I was right. I saw the truth in another light. A lesson learned when I lost the fight. But it's made me stronger. So bring me like a boat, turn me inside out. You're the one who knows me. So tell me you'll be good if I could have one change my story. 'Cause life it don't play out like a movie. So you forget, with no regrets, we are the best. In all its glory. In all its glory.
Hey, quality.
Seen that in a
I've
while.
seen that well.
Ages.
What can I say?
What?
That was what can I say? That was another. Like I said, every song that I listen to is top notch. And I'm gonna take a moment. My mom actually jumped in here to the live show, and this is my mom right here. So I want to take a moment and say hello, Mom. How are you doing?
Hi, Mom.
Hi,
And-
Mom.
Hi, Sid's mum.
She is the one that actually started getting. I always grew up. My dad was more of a rock and roller, and my mom was more of the country lady. And I grew up listening to Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, all those great old country artists due to my mom. So, hey, I guess I can attribute her to me doing this show here.
Yeah.
And that's why he came back with such a contented sigh. He was like melting into the music there.
I tell you what it was. It was Liam's voice that made me melt. It made my nipple.
What's his name?
Yeah. He had to look at the camera in a minute.
For a minute.
He has been known to develop a man crush, you know.
There was a few moments there. My nipples actually got rock hard. You have such a great voice, and I like the touch. And I'm assuming that I'm not sure what her name is, but I'm assuming that was your wife that was doing part of the vocals in it as well.
It's Deb's
Wife.
Yeah, my wife. Yeah.
I tell you, what a great mix adding her into the parts of those songs. You two, Liam and her, you guys sound amazing together. You guys
hit well together, those two. Yeah,
they really do. They hit the same notes at the right times, and it just sends chills. It's really good, guys. Really good.
Makes you nipples up.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I got the shirt on. I can cover my nipples up. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, thank God he's not doing a shower scene. Hey, it wouldn't be the first time he's had one, would it, Sid?
I had it. Oh, not my first time. That's for sure. Probably won't be my last either, Bob.
Probably not. Not the way you keep winning quizzes. So when you're writing a song then, guys, do you approach it with a similar formula every time? Is it that you come with some lyrics, Liam, or does the music develop and then you write lyrics over it? Or
Well, I just get... what was that?
He generally starts as a tornado, and we've got to put these blocks up in the way just to slow him down.
I just get all these crazy ideas going on in my head, you know. It's just like a chorus for one song, and then I'll start another song, and I'll get this next idea.
He'll literally call me in the middle of the night in a frenzy, like, listen, I've got this chorus idea, It's like, yeah, okay, play it. Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Literally, it's like 1 in the morning or something like that.
Yeah.
I've got this idea. Listen to this idea. It's great.
Yeah, quite often Liam will have a lyrical idea is generally what starts it most of the time. I think he'll bring something in and say, oh, I've got this verse or I've got this chorus. But there has been times where it started with maybe a guitar riff or Sam's got a chord sequence or whatever, you know. But I think I would say 9 out of 10 times it starts with the lyrics, because it's probably the most important thing to us is to start with that. Well, once you get something that means something to you, it's so easy to develop once you get in that vibe of the lyrics, I think.
Liam's really good at coming up with a concept, like Family Table, like that song. He enveloped the whole vibe of the band by going, I've got this one line that I really want to work on, and I think it'd be really good to build it into a song. And we built it into a song, but it was Liam's vision of where he wanted it to take it and what he wanted it to be that really brings it together, and that goes throughout the 90% of the songs.
Now, Liam, when you create these lyrics or these songs, is it like the chorus? Do you create the chorus first, the catchy part, or is it ideas just come to you just all at once?
It's different every time, to be honest. It's different every time. I'll sometimes get a chorus idea, or I'll get a verse idea, or there'll be no lyrics and I'll get like a melody, and then, you know, or I'll get a word and work off just one word or something like that, you know, because I just watch things and I take things in, and that's where it all comes from. You know?
He's like he's got ADHD.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he can have.
Look, you think he's just a show pony? We call him ponies who've got to put the brains on.
And then
the formula works, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, what they're doing, it really does work. It's cool to get the kind of behind the scenes of the processes that goes on behind these songs and how the dynamic of the bands works. So I actually enjoy doing these type of shows where we actually get to dig in a little bit of what's the making of each band, the DNA.
It is, and another one of the things that interests us, of course, I know we've had guitarists on who've collected lots of guitars, and obviously we can see quite a lot hanging up behind you today, Steph. But I'm wondering, how do you pick a favourite guitar when you're recording the tracks, or do you tend to think, oh, this is going to suit the sound of this particular one or this tuning, or how do you approach putting the guitar behind it?
I think initially when we first started writing, we hadn't really got a clue what our sound was. You know, when I first met Liam and we sort of wrote a couple of tracks, I was just picking up like whatever I'd regularly pick up. You know, guitars probably I don't even own anymore. My guitar collection's changed slightly since I got involved with these guys, just because of the way our sound has developed. So now, if we record a track right now, or if we go to rehearsal right now, I will pick up the Telecaster because it's kind of my sound for this band. Apart from I have the one that used to be yellow in the video, which I got bored in lockdown and sprayed it white. But that's we have a couple of songs, a song called When We Were Young and Skeletons, which you played earlier. Both of those songs were in a different tuning. They're both in open D tuning, which I use slide guitar on. So this is my open D tuning guitar. So there's that and the Telly. Those two generally cover everything I do. And then Liam's got a really nice silver sparkly Gretsch, which is beautiful.
It's all up there somewhere.
He left the studio and then we went into lockdown, which was a damn shame. So I got to keep it for about a year and a half. And then I used it on everything we did. So that's become part of the sound now. So Sam's now kind of bought a Gretsch to kind of fill that sound. And, you know, because Liam's Gretsch on one side of in the left speaker, I think, and we have my telly in the right speaker, and that's kind of become our sort of sound for the band now. I can't tell whether it will be in another year's time, but that's where we're at, and that's what's our style.
I did notice that you had a banjo before the show.
Yeah, it's a cheap banjo. I can't actually play banjo for toffee, so I bought a ganjo or a banjito, as you call it. It's a 6-string. If I can take a bit of foam out, so you play it just like a guitar. It's great because it's not going to be in tune, of course. It's been on the wall for about 6 months, but it's great because you just play normal guitar chords on it. You can play whatever you wanted on there.
I'm going to sound really hillbilly, but I love the sound of a banjo.
It's great. We have got a couple of tracks where we put a bit of banjo in the background and that, but the issue kind of we have is that we don't have enough people. We can't afford to pay loads of people to come out live and play with us and play all these instruments that we end up putting on all the tracks. So we're trying to make it realistic,
I mean, you got to hire a jug player, a wash tub. You got to get the guy that plays the spoons.
Yeah, tambourine player. Yeah, we need all those. We have got one song. You're going to hear it soon, actually, Sid. You won a CD in a recent competition of ours, I know. And there's a song that we wrote. One of the very first songs we ever wrote was a song called The Great Escape. And that's got banjo, quite a bit of banjo in it. So you'll hear that. But I'll say we're going to be rehearsing that for our very first few live shows coming up.
We're going to release that as well, aren't we, at some point? But
we will release at some point. But
all on the CD you're going to get is the demo. So
yeah. We put a few extras on the CD to for those that wanted a few of the, I don't know, the bootleg stuff or whatever. But yeah, there's a couple of demos on there. One's actually our next single, and one's this one I was just talking about. But that's got like a little bit of. It's got like a little banjo.
Hang on a second. Let me get this. Okay, now give me that banjo playing one more time.
Yeah. So that's the little opening riff. That's awesome. So yeah, but we will release that at some point. Whether it'll have banjo on then or not, I don't know. Our sound's moved on a long way. That was mid 2019 when we wrote that track, so I don't know. Things move.
Apple and mute.
So one of the reasons why we brought you guys on here is that you guys just dropped a new video here in the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Tell everybody about this song. Tell us about the video.
These are the days. This was written about the whole COVID lockdown, all that kind of stuff. We thought we'd write about it. And the video is just little snippets of us in rehearsal and just us messing around, really.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sam.
Sorry, mate. You sure? Yes, sir.
No, I was just going to say we wanted to do a proper video for this song.
We didn't have time, did we? Really?
Oh, we just didn't have time. We're an hour and a half from each other. Getting together and finding common time can be tricky. So.
Liam had to isolate for a while as well, and every corner we turn, we seem to hit this COVID-19 roadblock. So it's
crazy.
We're very lucky. I've got a studio where I'm at now. You can't see all my crap, but it's everywhere. And Steph having his studio, so that we are so lucky that we can record, we can play, we can produce, we can mix, do it all in house. Because if we didn't, nobody would have heard any new music for 2 years.
Well, I'm glad you guys are putting new music out for sure. I'm glad. I'm sure everybody else is watching is glad too.
Right.
So, what kind of stuff you guys got coming up for? Because we're going to be ending the show on the new video. So, give a shout out to all your socials. Any kind of events you guys got coming up that people might want to check out. Here's your opportunity.
Cool. Who's taking that? Me? You?
No, Steph, because you can't remember yet.
That's the truth.
So, yeah, coming up, we've got another single actually that we're currently working on. Sam's now mixing, which we're hoping to release in October. There is a demo of that. So anybody that's bought the Skeletons Deluxe CD or won a copy, will have heard a demo version of our next single, which is called I Won't Let Go. And it's very different again. I think so many of our songs are so different. We just go song by song, however we feel at the time. We're not trying to, make them all sound like they should be on an album together. I don't know, we've never really thought about that. We just produce a song and it just has a vibe. But anyway, that's going to be hopefully October at some point. Sam will be able to tell you more about that because he's in the middle of mixing that right now. But
him.
Yeah. Name for it. Yeah.
Pony.
We're waiting for pony vocals. So yeah, so
wow, does that mean I've got to do some work?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah,
come on.
Fuck. I gotta do something now.
Yeah. The best place.
He's the most relaxed guest we've had, isn't he? Do you think?
I have to say so.
He'll talk about himself. So if you haven't noticed, it is just a complete piss take all the time, and it's mostly directed at Liam.
Yeah, we have a YouTube series called Backstage Banter for that reason. This YouTube series. We've got a behind the scenes of These Are the Days recording the single. Actually, we've got a behind the scenes going up at some point on our YouTube channel, and that's a series called Backstage Banter. But we named it Backstage Banter. Sorry,
has Sid and Bob seen any of those?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
The Backstage Banter videos. Yeah, we called it that because basically, we just rip the absolute piss out of each other all of the time. But
it's quite entertaining, actually.
Anything that involves a good piss take, we're normally pretty well on.
Proper British humour as well, so it's quite brutal.
Yeah, anybody can expect that kind of thing at our shows. It's going to happen. So yeah, but
that's
anyway,
what we want.
So that's what it's all about, though, isn't it? Having fun.
Absolutely.
We've got some gigs coming up as well, haven't we, Steph? So
yeah, I was just going to say, best place to find everything Flatland Kings is flatlandkings.com, where there's the links to our socials, tickets for gigs, and lots of other stuff like merchandise, hats, and you can't even see it. Mugs and stuff, and that.
We want to see some people wearing some of our merch. Like, that's going to be really wicked. Seeing people like
I need to get me a shirt. I need to get me a shirt. That's what I need to do. So when I get off here, I'm gonna get me one.
Yeah, well, we'll look out for the nipples.
Just make sure that I'll make sure that I cut the nipples out, holes out for the nipples.
No, just my face was just like, yeah, Sid, nipples are there. A little bit of nipple in the picture.
So yeah, thanks guys. I know we're at our hour, and I don't want to keep you guys too late. You guys probably have jobs to do them tomorrow, and not everybody is as fortunate as me that doesn't have a job and get to do this for a living. I know, the whores.
Oh wow!
But thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Finally get to meet you guys. I'm super stoked about that. I really enjoy you guys' music. Everybody out there who is watching this show later, be sure you follow them here on Facebook. Find them, Flatland Kings. You can find them on YouTube as well, right? Is it Flatland Kings as well, just like that?
It's just at Flatland Kings on every social platform. That's all it is. So you can search at Flatland Kings everywhere, and it should pop up.
Or simply Flatland Kings.
Excellent.
Be sure to like, follow, share, go to their YouTube page, subscribe, like their videos, share the stuff out, guys. They're really amazing.
Buy the merch.
Buy merch. Buy nippless shirts. Nippless shirts.
That's going to be the next bit of merch that you're going to see in the store, isn't it?
It's not going to be Flatland Kings anymore, Bob. It's going to be Flat-Chested Kings.
Yeah.
The cogs are already working. I'm thinking of new merch ideas right now, and just about everything.
Thank you guys very much. I really do appreciate it. I'm honored to have you guys. Thank you guys once again for hanging out. We're going to end tonight's show. We're going to play their new video, new song. This is Flatland Kings. These are the days. You guys have a great night. You guys as well. You guys, the band. Everybody out there watching, have a great night. We will see you Friday at 5 p.m. on Talking with Demons. You guys have a great week and see you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Now what you doing?
I don't know.
Yeah?
It just stopped. Hang on, let me try this again.
There's silence on the streets of London, neon lights out in Tokyo. There's a change here coming.